Hey, what's up guys, and before we jump into this new series, there's a lot I want to talk about the series on this channel. Well, for one, what if Naruto broke his human limiter? And also, what if Naruto and his clan was betrayed by Konoha? And also, what if Naruto awakened his powers at Land of Wave? Well, consistent what if Naruto broke his human limiter. I had this epic battle ready to give you guys, and as well as the conclusion of why Kurosaki had went missing. But halfway through it guys, I came to a stop. And I've been trying to tweak it and turn it how I like, but it's just not coming to me guys. I'm not sure if I'm gonna cancel it outright. I'm gonna need a few more days to think about what I'm gonna do. As for what if Naruto was betrayed, I don't think I'm gonna continue that one guys. I don't know why I've lost my muse, but I've lost it for that one. What if Naruto awakened his powers? I think I'm going to continue that one, yes. Powers and memories, yes, I'm going to be continuing that one, guys. I had those three and I've been watching them for a while to consider whether I'm going to continue them or not. But I'll let you guys know in the next 2 days to know what I'm doing. However, I'm going to be bringing out something that I've been working on for some time now, and it's time that I jump into it. I also got a recommendation. I'm surprised that one of you were able to figure out the next series I'm going to post. Yes guys, this is it. What if Naruto fused with a blue beetle guys? Yes, I'm sure that most of you know that symbiotic creature that allow the user to gain all sorts of amazing abilities and powers, such as enhanced strength in their normal form and speed. But when the blue beetle is activated, they literally become a powerhouse of death. So yeah guys, I'm gonna be jumping into this. Why don't you guys just sit back, relax, and yeah, enjoy. I'll fill you guys in on Saturday about everything else, so yeah, you guys will know very soon. But for now, I'm gonna be giving you this new series, which I hope you guys enjoy. So without further ado, what do you say we jump right into this new episode? Begin now guys. We begin this new series in the forest of Konoha. A small child, no older than 6 years old, he was lost. Yes, he was lost. He had bright blonde hair and blue eyes. 3 whisker marks on each of his cheek. His name was Naruto Uzumaki. The reason why he was out here was, today in the park a few kids had tricked him and told him that there was a powerful sensei out here, and if he was able to find the man he would teach him. Naruto was just a child and those bullies were older than him, 8, 7, 9. They were older and smarter as they had tricked him. The moment Naruto heard about getting stronger, he had fled to come out here, and now he was lost because he had fell down a small steep. The reason why he was so excited to get a new sensei, someone to train him. Soon enough he was going to be entering the academy, but he thought if he got stronger before he did, they would notice his strength and make him Hokage. Yes, something rather juvenile. Well, he was a child. But Naruto did not understand the true meaning of being Hokage just yet. The only reason why he wanted to be Hokage was to be respected. People around here treat him differently than the other kids. They seem to always glare at him and whisper behind his back. However, when the old man that was a Hokage took him for ramen, people bowed their head and even smiled at him and waved. The old man was really popular and everyone respected him. That is why Naruto vowed that he would become Hokage, and then they would all respect him. However, now he was lost and he didn't know how to get back home. As he didn't know where he was, this was his first time being this far, out in the forest. And not to mention it was now night, it was hard to see. As Naruto walked, he heard crackling, he turned. Oh, it was just a rabbit. As he continued to walk, that is when he heard something as a rabbit squeal. Naruto turned to see a bear. It had just ripped into the rabbit. Naruto watched as a giant teeth tore into the rabbit flesh. Naruto was paralyzed in fear. The bear was massive and taller than him. In his 6-year-old mind, it was a monster. As Naruto slowly started to back away in fear, that is when he accidentally stepped on a preserve branch. The bear noticed him. As it roared, Naruto turned and ran. The agitated bear seemed to take note of Naruto. Well, he was wearing a white shirt with a swirl on it and black pants. The thing then started to chase after him. No, 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 said Naruto in his mind. As he wondered why the thing was following him, didn't it already eat that rabbit? Naruto turned as he ran. As Naruto was moving, something was gonna change his life. To play out the story of Naruto Uzumaki, something fell from the heavens. As it fell and landed near the forest where Naruto was in, Naruto did not take notice of anything or see anything, but he just kept on running until his legs were tired. The bear was still chasing after him. That is when Naruto tripped as he rolled. Naruto crashed down hard, unaware that he had just fell into a crater. Naruto looked up as the bear growled. He turned his back towards the thing behind him, not noticing that anything was there, as Naruto started to reach around. As despite him being terrified, he had to fight because the thing would not stop chasing him. Naruto picked up a piece of stick as he held it out. The bear looked at him for a moment as Naruto thought it was going to run away, but it simply growled and lunged forward. That is when Naruto screamed as something slammed into his back. Naruto's eyes went wide as blue veins started to spread across his body. Unknown to Naruto, the thing that he turned his back to was a strange blue beetle, but it did not seem like a normal animal, as it seemed technological. It stabbed into his back as Naruto screamed out. The bear seemed to pursue him even more, hearing Naruto scream. However, Naruto's arm became covered in a strange, metallic form as it rushed to his fingers. Slice! The bear came to a stop. Not because it was afraid. It was because it was split down the middle. The both half dropped as Naruto collapsed face first, screaming out as the blue lines started to spread across his body. They rushed toward his stomach. A strange marking on Naruto's stomach was activated. It was a strange sealing that contained one of the most powerful beasts known to mankind in this time period. The blue markings attached to that sealing matrix. Meanwhile, within Naruto's mindscape, a place where Naruto could visit but he had not yet known it existed. This location was where the gigantic beast had a form. It was sealed inside of him when he was a baby, the Ninetales, the most powerful creature to exist in this time period. The beast cracked open its eyes, having been sleeping when it felt it. The beast got up, showing its massive, impressive size. He growled out. "What are you?" he said, ferocity in his tone. However, there was no answer. What he got instead was blue tentacles slamming against the bars. The fox raged as red chakra started to leak from underneath the bars. However, the blue tentacles were assaulted, but they started to absorb it. Kurama, the mightiest tail beast, would not go down without a fight. As he started to push out more chakra, confused what this thing was, but he knew one thing for certain. This thing was trying to take over, but he wouldn't allow that as he expelled its power. In doing that, it caused chaos in the mindscape, as a strange blue beetle started to cause a fluctuation through the chakra pathways. Blue eyes opened up with confusion. A man that was said to be one of the greatest Hokage stood in the mindscape, confused. He had to jump away as he was almost impaled. The fox had impaled him on that day, as it had quickly rushed to his mind. What is this? Fourth Hokage! What is the meaning of this? The fox roared in anger, seeing the one that put him here. As the fourth Hokage looked around, regaining his senses, he had to leap away once again, confused. Why was he here? He was only supposed to be here. The seal was on the verge of breaking if Naruto had taken on too much of the power. What the hell was going on? Minato? Turning, he saw someone standing there. To his shock, it was none other than his wife, Kushina Ozu. He was cut off as he was grabbed by the throats. His both arms were grabbed as well as he was thrown violently. He slammed against the bar. Kushina rushed forward as chains came from her back. They went up against the tentacles as they started to clash. However, Kushina heard something coming. Turning her gaze, she looked towards Minato. What's going on? What's happening to our son? She said. As Minato ripped the thing away from his mouth, I don't. He was cut off as he saw a mass of blue tentacles entering. The fox saw this as well as they all converged together. Minato rushed as he grabbed Kushina. They created some sort of cannon that released an energy blast that slammed against the bars. The force was able to cause a violent blast that ricocheted through the mindscape. At that moment though, the fox would not give up without a fight. He said that before. The power that he released clashed with this thing. This alien artifact was sent to bond with the most powerful member of the human race. Seeing that the Ninetales was one of the most powerful beasts that possessed tremendous power, the thing had attached itself to Naruto, and soon after it would try to corrupt Naruto's mind. It was a way of them to take over the planet, little by little. However, this thing was not supposed to be here. It was sent off course and ended up in the wrong regions. And now it was here in the elemental nation somewhere, far from its destination. However, the problem was, this thing had never encountered chakra before. A different life source of energy. While this thing seemed to have unlimited energy, the fox was a massive beast of chakra that cannot be killed by normal means. So when the fox had released its chakra and the two of them had clashed, there was some sort of merging. However, once it was done, the mindscape was empty. The cage was barren. Minato and Kushina were gone as well. The fox chakra had been dispersed, but it did not leave Naruto's body. Nothing was inside except for the blue tentacles that were now glowing with an ominous red. As the ominous red seemed to have wrapped up in them. However, it was not only that, there was two others. Chakra had been absorbed into the Beetle, and right now, in the outside world, Naruto blinked several times. The pain was too much and he had passed out through the whole of that. All of that happened inside of him, none of it leaking out to the outside world. The seal that was placed on Naruto was a tremendously powerful one. However, this thing had been created by a race of extremely intelligent aliens, as it was able to adapt to the situation that it was placed in. However, first encountering chakra power like this, there was an overlap, and the thing that was destined to take over had now been changed. On Naruto's back, the Beetle was strapped onto him. It seems like it was stuck onto him, unable to be removed. However, you could see strange markings of red going through it, like it was glowing before it died down. Naruto picked himself up, rubbing his head, when he smelled something as he looked up and screamed on top of his lungs. As Naruto saw the corpse of the bear right in front of him, sliced in half. As Naruto started to stagger away, as he felt strange, Naruto ended up tripping, but before his face could hit the ground, Naruto opened his eyes to see that he was not touching the ground. He was tremendously confused about what is going on when he saw a strange blue glow. As Naruto tilted his head behind him to see wings. They look like butterfly wings. As Naruto tilted his head in confusion, before he shot forward, Naruto's eyes widened as he was about to slam head first into the tree that was until something covered his head. Bam! Naruto burst right through the tree as he crashed hard. Naruto picked himself up, shaking his head as he looked at his hands, seeing strange information. Looking around, Naruto saw animals, as he wasn't able to see them before, but now he could see them clearly. As Naruto reached up and touched his face, this was not his face. What was this? Unknown to him, Naruto's face was covered by a strange mask. You could consider it that. It had a blue curving design that came down across his face. However, the eye part of the mask was completely red. As Naruto looked at his arms, he noticed that he was wearing a blue black bodysuit. There was also strange things that stick up from his shoulders and pointed upwards. The both of them were blue with strange red markings going through it. They were moving by themselves. They were like pincers, as he had sharp tips on the ends. Looking down in his chest, Naruto saw a strange mark It looked like a strange beetle, with 9 circles wrapped around it. As Naruto looked toward his legs, he seemed to be wearing black boots that was attached to the armor. Naruto was confused as the wings behind him flapped. Oh no. Naruto shot up in the sky. Before he knew it, he could see all over Konoha. His eyes widened as he was sent rocking back down. No, 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 stop, said Naruto, but it would not. Boom, Naruto slammed right into the ground, causing a tremendous commotion. As Naruto was face first, he pulled himself up. He was not harmed in the slightest. Before he knew it, he was surrounded. Envoys from all sides appeared. As Naruto saw they draw their weapons, he could see the weapons as they started to light up in his eyes. Strange words started to appear that he did not understand, but a moment later he understood the words. It said, danger. Before Naruto knew it, his arms turned into cannons. As Naruto saw energy start to gather at the tips of them, the ninjas quickly attacked. Stop it, said Naruto as he raised his arms up in the sky. A blast then ensued as it shot straight up in the heavens. Kunais were launched towards him, however, the pincers on his shoulder started to slap them away. As a ninja flashed behind him, kunai, as he brought it down, because in their opinion Naruto was a threat that just crashed right in the village that was starting to cause chaos. The kunai was brought down, but before he could, a strange tentacle emerged and grabbed him by the waist. Naruto's arm then turned into a blade as Naruto found himself turning around. I said stop, Naruto yelled. He didn't want to hurt anyone, this was not right. The tentacle threw the guy away as he was caught by one of his friends. You're not gonna harm anyone, do you understand me? The thing then started to buzz. However, Naruto could understand it clearly what it was saying. It apologized. You can talk? It explained that it can only be heard by him. As Naruto scratched the back of his head when he realized he was just scratching metal, as he lowered his hand, confused by what was going on. What are you? Said Naruto, not remembering that he was in the midst of a, battle. As Naruto noticed someone land on the scene, the armor quickly was ready to fight back. That's the Hokage. You will not be fighting him, understood? Once again the thing apologized. It's alright, said Naruto, but he's a friend, so don't attack him. And don't attack anyone unless I tell you to, understand? As the thing agreed, it was being tremendously friendly. There was a reason for that though. Whatever happened in the mindscape, it caused a collision of chakra, emotions, and memories. The blue beetle was a thing that was sent, as I said earlier, to conquer the race of people that was on a planet. However, it encountered the fox chakra, but there was also Kushina and Minato inside as well. Kushina and Minato that loved their son dearly. The blue beetle's senses and functions were knocked out because of the fox raw, corrosive chakra, but it had to adapt, and it absorbed not only the fox but Minato and Kushina as well. However, upon doing that, it was too much. That is why it started to fly and threw itself around as it tried to connect to Naruto, seeing the people around him as threats, as it was here to protect him. That wasn't the main reason, but now because of what happened in the mindscape, the beetle had changed. Who are you? And why are you attacking this village? Naruto raised his hands, showing that he surrendered as Hiruzen narrowed his eyes. This was one thing that he never wanted right now, as there was someone standing in front of him in a strange suit of armor that he's never yet seen in the elemental nation before. The pincers slowly start to wave back in front, like they were surrendering. Hey, how do I take this off? Said Naruto as he started to mess with the face thing. That is when it opened up, showing Naruto's face. Everyone looked at him with shock, including Hiruzen, as he stepped forward. Naruto, is that you? Hey there, Gigi, said Naruto. I guess I have a lot of explaining to do, don't I? Hiruzen looked towards the boy with utter shock, as he wondered what the hell was going on. Time skip. Hiruzen stood behind the shirtless Naruto, as he looked at the thing on Naruto's back. And you said that it was just there in the forest. From what I know, said Naruto. And it can talk. Well, not right now. I think it can when it's activated though, said Naruto. And I can't hear it. No, said Naruto. Only me. I think it's because it's attached to my back. Hiruzen reached forward to poke the thing until it quickly surrounded Naruto. Sorry about that, said Naruto. It doesn't like to be touched. Hiruzen looked towards Naruto in the suit, now that he was seeing it better lightened. It looks so futuristic. He's never seen technology like this before. As Hiruzen looked at the mask and the pincers on Naruto's back, this was a troubling thought. He had no idea where this came from or what it truly was, and now it was on Naruto. As Naruto tilted his head when the thing started to show Naruto his past memories. Huh? What are you doing? Said Naruto. Hiruzen blinked. What are you talking about? Not you, Gigi, said Naruto. It's showing me you. Naruto saw himself stand in front of the old man. As Naruto asked the old man who his parents were, the thing then said, liar. Naruto blinked in confusion. That is when he saw strange photographs of a woman with red hair. She was smiling as she was walking with a man in a video with blonde hair, and they were talking. As Naruto saw the top of their heads, information. Kushina Uzumaki, Minato Namikaze. Naruto said out loud. Hiruzen froze as he heard those names. My parents, said Naruto as he turned towards the pincer to his right shoulder. What? As Naruto spun around as he looked towards the wall and he saw the photo. The photo was scanned on the wall. 100% match. JJ, said Naruto as the face mask opened up. It's a Fortikage of my father? Hiruzen's eyes widened with shock. How did you... It told me, said Naruto. But Hiruzen couldn't answer how that thing was able to tell Naruto who his parents were. There was only a select few that knew about the secrets. Just what in the world was that thing? So he's not lying then, said Naruto. Hiruzen knew that if he were to lie right now, it would just make things a whole lot worse. Whatever this thing was, it was able to get information that most others did not know. No, Hiruzen said. As Naruto had to step back, immediately the thing overtook Naruto once again. As Naruto's arms turned to blades. Naruto, what are you doing? Hiruzen said. No, stop it, said Naruto. As the thing was speaking to him, I know he lied, but he don't deserve to die, said Naruto. The blade slowly retracted. As Hiruzen released a breath, whatever this thing was, it was easy to agitate and ready to kill at a moment's notice. This was far too dangerous for his liking. As the thing retracted, as Naruto returned back to his normal form, but not before it sent Naruto another piece of information. So that's why they hate me, said Naruto. I had the Nine Tails inside of myself. The Fortikage, my father, he sealed it inside of me. Hiruzen walked over to console the boy. Wait, what do you mean by had? The thing on his back started to glow a bit as Naruto heard the voice in his head once again. It was able to talk to him even in his state. It devoured the Nine Tails, freeing his chakra and also my parents. Your parents? The chakra of my mother and father was sealed inside of me to help me with the Nine Tails in the future, said Naruto, if I were to master the power, as he started to repeat everything that the thing told him. However, with it bonding to me, the fox tried to stop it, and there was a struggle, causing all of them to merge in a sense. Wait, so are you saying that this thing is basically the combination of the fox, your mother and father, and whatever it was? As Naruto nodded his head, it said that it went through changes because of me. Changes? What kind? A lot, it said Naruto. And what does it want? As Naruto listened, as he turned towards Hiruzen, it wants to help me. Help you. Why? What does it want in return? It said nothing, said Naruto. Listen to me, Naruto, and I don't think that you should. No, said Naruto. Why should I listen to you? Whatever this thing is, it told me the truth right away. While you've been lying to me the entire time. You never told me who my parents were. You knew why people hated me and yet you never told me. You just left me alone, said Naruto. Were you ever going to tell me why they hate me? All the emotion that Naruto has been trying to conceal was hitting him rather badly. Tears started gathering in his eyes. As Hiruzen felt his heart jump at the sight of the child crying. He has already been through so much. The last thing Hiruzen wanted to do was to cause Naruto any unnecessary pain. Hiruzen sat down as he patted for Naruto to sit down beside him. Naruto gave him a weary look, but he walked over and sat down. Despite everything, Naruto was still a child who were filled with emotions, as they were easy to mistrust people. Naruto, there are several things that you should know before you make your decision, he said. So Hiruzen told Naruto everything. The reason why he was kept away from his heritage. Minato had a lot of enemies. Not Oniki per se, but all of the members that lost loved ones. Yes, they wanted him dead. And if they found out that he had a child, there would be countless assassination attempts. Not to mention his last name Uzumaki. Majority of the people believe that Naruto was not really a Uzumaki because of his blonde hair. Uzumakis were known for their red hair. People believe that he was just an orphan that was given a name. That was one of the main reasons why no one really come after him, not to mention Hiruzen had tried his best to keep Naruto away from the outside populace. Uzumakis were talented in Fuinjutsu. They always got a knack for it, not to mention the Uzumakis have long longevity, and not to mention healing abilities that far surpass any other normal ninja. As he told Naruto everything, and he mean everything. His mother was a previous Jinchuriki and the village of Kumo came after her. They wanted to take her there. Because of his young mind, he spared Naruto from the details of what the people of Kumo wanted to do. He just told him that they wanted to kidnap her. Throughout all of this, the scarab on Naruto's back told him that the old man was not lying. His features did not show any indication of lying. Naruto was happy to hear that, but he was still crying. He was a child, never having a family, and now to find out that the fourth Hokage was his father. The scarab seemed to try to console Naruto, as it was just vibrating. Naruto felt warmth. He felt like this thing was truly attached to his parents. He didn't know how to describe it, but it was just a sensation. As Naruto wiped his tears. Fine, said Naruto. I understand. I was a child. Well, I am a child, said Naruto. And they would have come after me to hurt me. So you did this to protect me. And despite you being the Hokage, you're just one man. And you cannot be everywhere at every time. As Hiruzen nodded, glad that Naruto was understanding what he was saying. However, Hiruzen had several more questions. Things that he needed to find out about Naruto and this new piece of machine that was attached to him, as he had no idea what the hell was going on. He asked Naruto to speak to the Beetle and asked it where it came from. It said that it was not from this planet. So he was right. This thing was an alien tech. A technology that belonged to some sort of alien race. The sole reason for the Beetle creation was shifted out of its memory bank. So it did not remember why, or what was its main goal. It was because of the collision. All it wanted to do right now was protect Naruto. And it would not let anyone touch it except for Naruto. Well, when it was in Beetle form on his back, Hiruzen tried, but the thing had quickly surrounded Naruto. As Hiruzen realized that it was a great power indeed. But they would have to find out more about it. And that involved testing Naruto. He asked the scarab several more questions, but none of them brought fruit to his answer. He figured that the fox has something to do with the collision. Maybe the fox shocker and this strange alien tech did not bond so well. After all, it did not know the reason why it was here. But despite all of that, Hiruzen did not trust it one bit. Yes, he did not. This thing was far too powerful. And not to mention it was sentient, like a sentient blade. So it understand things that was going on, and he was able to quickly find out that Hiruzen was lying to Naruto, and also playing Naruto's own memories. Whatever this thing was, it possessed great power, and Hiruzen needed to keep it under check, as he feared that this thing would corrupt Naruto in some way, or, well, to how quickly it reacted, and how quickly it was ready to attack. Hiruzen knew that he had to do something to make sure that Naruto loyalties remained to this village, because whatever this thing is, they could not remove it from him. and it was tremendously dangerous. And now that Naruto was self-aware of everything around him, things would be different. Hiruzen had to make a choice. Naruto would have joined the academy in a couple of months. However, he would have to see first. Time skip. A week has passed since Naruto had been infected by the alien being now they call Beetle. Hiruzen did not allow the news to spread to the public, as the members of the council were concerned about this development. Hiruzen had the boy tested. Naruto had to tell the Beetle not to, fight to kill, as Naruto slowly realized that he had control. The Beetle was self-aware and it also protected him. However, he had control. He could shift the arms to blades and all sorts of weapons. But he doubted that he had grasped the full capability of this Beetle yet. At the moment, the council room was filled with the members. There was no civilian people inside. No members of the civilian council. The civilian council was a small group made up of people that, see to the day-to-day of the village, like the shops and the important hotels. However, this did not concern them in the slightest. Hiruzen had just informed everyone that did not know about Minato and Kushina having a child. And let's just say the members were shocked, as Minato and Kushina relationship was mostly a secret. There was only a handful of people that knew about this. As Fukaku Uchiha, a member of the council, the head of the Uchiha clan, spoke up. So what does this entail for the boy, he said. And how was the testing, he asked. As Hiruzen cleared his throat, from what we were able to gather, the Beetle is a technological weapon that grants Naruto many changes and weapons. It is also able to react on its own, like a semi-life form, able to move and also protect Naruto in any way it see fit, even if those ways might seem violent. So this thing, Tetsumi asks, could try to force his control. From what Naruto has been able to gather, he has a lot more control than he thought. However, the Beetle would make sure that he was not in danger if he was not aware or able to protect himself. So it's basically like having someone watch his back 24/7, Tetsumi said, as Hiruzen nodded. But if what you've said so far is the truth, said Shikaku, I doubt you would want him to join the academy. And know that he knows this about himself. It's only a matter of time now before he wants everyone to know who he really is. I doubt, after everything he's been through, he will want to remain in hiding. I think this might get to his head in terms of power. As the other members agree, that is exactly what Hiruzen was thinking as well. Naruto was letting the Beetle go to his head. So we need to find a way to make sure that he doesn't go overboard. And how exactly are we gonna do that? It's not like we can remove this thing from him. You said yourself, it will fight back if it feels threatened or if Naruto is any threat. And I doubt it will take us removing it as not a sign of action or something. You're right, Hiruzen said, as the members looked to one another, trying to find a reasonable way to make sure that Naruto was, still loyal to the village and also gain a self-awareness and control to not do anything that a child would not do. After all, he was still a child. Naruto get easily excited and easily angry. The Beetle took Naruto emotions too literally. If Naruto was angry at someone, it would quickly try to face off against that person in a fight to the death. And him going to the academy, bullies, and people that he did not like, it would be tremendously hard to stop the Beetle from harming someone, and that would just be chaotic for everyone. Anvu, Shikaku said. The members turned towards him like he was crazy. What do you mean, Anvu? Said Tetsumi. I mean Anvu. Right now it's the only reasonable thing that we can do. Think about it. It will not only help him in controlling his emotion, it will also keep him away from the spotlight until he has grown enough to understand the situation that he's in. And not to mention, it will keep him away out of the spotlight to help him grow in strength. So when the time comes for his heritage to be revealed, if anyone might come his way, he will be able to handle himself. You know, now that you say it out loud, it kind of does make sense, said Choza. However, he's 6. Isn't that a bit too much? Exactly, said Tatsumi. He's just a child. Granted, he might have this powerful weapon, but he's still just a child. Do you really expect a child to do what the Onbus do and come out of this sane after he's left the program? It will take a more drastic mental view on his mind. He has to be reasonable enough and able to grasp and understand certain things around him before stepping into a field where he will see nothing but death and destruction. If this thing react by any danger sent his way, how do you think it will react by seeing everything around Naruto? And how will he react as a child, seeing these things around him? It will damage his psyche. Well, that is why the Hokage will create a small division of members to take Naruto on as a trainee, the best that can control their emotion to prepare him for the future to come. Look, I don't see any other reasonable idea here. I know this one's a long shot, but given all that we know, wouldn't you say that this is the best idea, Shikaku said? As Hiruzen thought it over, he had several individuals in mind. This could be a good thing, to prepare Naruto for the future, to make sure that he understands what is going on around him. Well, does anyone else have any idea? Shikaku asked. But none of them did not. Adoption was already out of the way. They had to find a group of people that was able to fully control themselves in the most difficult situation, taking the child in as a trainee. As the members, even Fukaku agreed with this. Before that was finished though, Koharu spoke up. What about the Ninetales? Has there been any sightings of the beast chakra inside of him? Yes, what about that, said Tatsumi. None of that still doesn't make any sense to me. How was that thing able to get rid of it? I mean, did it kill it or what? It is not dead per se, Hiruzen said. As far as I was able to see, the seal is still connected to Naruto. However, I'm not sure that the beast is fully intact anymore. So when you say intact, you mean that it's dispersed like chakra. After all, that is what it is after all. A beast of nothing but chakra. So in a sense you say that he has all that chakra at his disposal. No, far from it. Naruto has no idea how to wield the power that is inside of him right now. This will take years of training for him to be able to understand. Even at this moment, he's still not able to fully utilize and control the Beetle. So it will take some time. I believe that Shikaku's idea is for the best. I will be able to gather a group to keep Naruto out of the field while training him to make sure that he will be prepared for the future. And once they give the go-ahead, I believe we can place him on the field. The members look as they nodded toward each other. It was still very chancy. After all, this can go either really good or extremely bad. However, they had no other option. Throughout all of this, Hiruzen had his eyes focused on one man. That man was none other than Danzo Shimura. The reason is Danzo did not say a single word through this meeting. Danzo sat where he was and absorbed every piece of information that he could. And he did not say a single word, which caused Hiruzen to worry. He would have to make sure that he get the right people for this task. Time skip. As Naruto glanced up towards Hiruzen, the both of them were walking towards a strange location. They had went into the office and went through a strange passage. And they were walking through a long hallway. The place was not that well lit, however Naruto could see everything. His vision had improved. The old man had made him fight a woman. As he could tell that it was a woman, the Beetle told him, despite her wearing a mask, she was very good with a blade. However, the blades that Naruto was able to create was extremely stronger and even able to chip her blade. And Beetle was also able to scan her skills. So Naruto was able to react, but the thing was, Naruto was not fast enough or able to move properly while he had control. He could give Beetle control, but Naruto wanted to learn how to fight himself. However, he was horrible. While he could tell where she was going to strike, he could not dodge it because he was not fast enough. Well, not yet. The old man told him that he was not going to join the academy. Naruto was bummed out to hear that, but he told him that he will be a part of a special team. For now, he'd remain in the shadows until a few years when he was properly ready. Just like any other child, Naruto was impatient, but the old man told him that he needed to learn how to control himself and his new powers before he moved on to anything more. As Naruto agreed, They finally arrived towards a location, as Naruto noticed that there was a wall, but it wasn't really a wall. Hiruzen went through hand sign before raising his hand. As Naruto saw, strange markings arrived before the wall opened up, and they stepped into a room, but from the back area. Naruto saw columns, with people having desks and tables, writing on papers. The moment they saw the Hokage, they got up. As they presented themselves, Hiruzen told them at ease as Naruto watched the authority that the old man had. "Yeah, you're right," said Naruto. "They're all staring at me," as Beetle told him. Every one of them was watching him, their eyes focused on him. As Naruto calmly made his way, following behind Hiruzen, they finally arrived towards a room. As Hiruzen stepped inside, the place was kind of large. As Naruto saw, there was a woman. She was sharpening her blade. Hiruzen walked over towards her. She turned and bowed her head. "At ease," Hiruzen said. She had purple hair as she glanced down towards Naruto. "It's you," said Naruto. "The one that tested me." Eugeo raised an eyebrow towards him. "How did you know who I was without my mask?" "Oh, Beetle told me," said Naruto. "He was able to scan your body." "Scan me?" she said, narrowing her eyes. "Yeah, the way you fight and the way you move. And how much you weigh. And how you shape. So he was able to tell me that you're the person. He was right, isn't he?" She nodded her head. She still couldn't understand how could a child get his hands on something this technological. Something like this has never been seen in the elemental nation before. That is when Naruto heard talking. "So that's him, huh?" As Naruto turned to see a big guy. He was even bigger than the Hokage. He was extremely tall. He had dark blue hair. And blue eyes as well. Not as blue as Naruto's. He was wearing black pants. And he was wearing a muscle shirt. As he was rather big in Naruto's opinion. "Ah, Kuma," Hiruzen said. "This is him, Naruto Uzumaki." The beast known as Kuma stepped forward. As in Naruto's opinion, the man was large and could squash him with his hand. As he started to approach Naruto, Beetle was ready to lash out. However, Naruto had given it a talking to not to attack people that was within the village. They were not his enemies. However, Beetle was not so sure given how most of them glare at him. But Naruto told him it was because of the fox. But the Beetle would not take anyone attacking Naruto lightly. "Well, nice to meet you," said Kuma as he extended his hand. As Naruto was surprised. He thought the guy was going to be rough. As Naruto could only shake part of the guy's hand. "Nice to meet you too," Kuma said Naruto. "I am Naruto Uzumaki," as the old man said. "Well, Naruto Uzumaki, I heard that you're a special case, and we're going to be preparing you for the future. I'm looking forward to see how much you grow," Kuma said. "Who knows, you might be a secret prodigy." "Prodigy?" said Naruto as he looked over to the Hokage, who simply smiled at him. "Who's that?" said Naruto, as Beetle told him something. Eugeo looked towards him. "You know someone is there." "Yeah, right there." "Impressive," a voice said. The voice sounded shady and kind of dark, as someone materialized out of darkness. "You were able to see me." "Not just you," said Naruto. "The other one down there as well." The moment I stepped into the room, Beetle scanned it and told me, "It was 4 of you here," said Naruto. "Her, him, you, and that one," said Naruto, as he was pointing towards the office door over to the side. The man finally approached Naruto as Naruto was able to see him fully. He was tall, however, he was on the lighter side. His skin looked rather pale, as he was wearing a bandana over his head that came down toward his face, hiding his eyes. As Naruto waved in front of him, "Can you see me?" "Of course I can." "Can you see me?" "Yeah," said Naruto. "I mean, you're right here." "Am I?" As a guy appeared behind him, as Naruto spun around. "Whoa, you're fast. And also quiet as well. How did you do that? That was awesome." "I can teach you," the man said. "Well, that is if you prove yourself." "Prove myself?" "Yes, that you're worthy of being trained by us." "What do I have to do?" "All in due time," he said. "Oh, what's your name?" "You can call me Shadow for now," he said, as he disappeared back into the shadow. "Whoa, he's awesome." "You think he's awesome? Wait till you get to know me better," said Kuma. Oh, don't worry, big guy, said Naruto. I think you're awesome as well. As Kuma chuckled at that, it was good to have someone like this in here. Anvu was a word that had people emotionally stagnant, as you had to conceal your emotion many times. However, right now they were not on mission. They could lay back and relax and enjoy themselves, not pushing themselves too hard. As the next man came out of the office, "You finally show up," Hiruzen said. "Oh, sorry about that, Hokage-sama. I was just finished the last bit paperwork." As Naruto saw the man, "Where do I know you from?" said Naruto. The man tilted his head, following Naruto's movements. "You know me," he said. "Yeah." As Naruto's face was covered by the Beetle mask, as it scanned Kakashi up and down, it was then that Naruto saw his memories. Kakashi's face was put towards a simulation of a memory that Naruto had a long time ago of a man with silver hair and a mask on his face that looked like a dog. The posture, the way he carried himself. "It's you," said Naruto. "Dogman, you were the one that stopped that villager at the time. He claimed that I knocked over his fruit stand when I wasn't even near it," said Naruto. "You remember that?" "Yeah," said Naruto. "Quite the memory on you," he said, as he looked towards Naruto up and down. "We need to talk," Hiruzen said. "Naruto, why don't you stay here? We'll be back soon." As Naruto nodded as he sat down, Kakashi and Hiruzen made their way towards the room. "So, this Beetle thing, it's all true," said Kakashi as he looked towards Hiruzen. "More than," said Hiruzen, "but there are some things that you need to know. This thing is far more technologically than we thought. It is able to do things that this world is not even ready for yet." "Like?" "Well, I'm not sure the full capabilities, but it was able to use Naruto memories. I'm able to use a photo on my wall in the office to find out who Naruto's parents is. Well, the seal had their chakra, so..." "Wait, what? What do you mean?" "Minato was a genius with sealing. It seems like he left precautions in case the Nine Tails was ever released. Well, not fully. And another thing, the Nine Tails is no longer with Naruto." As Kakashi's eyes went wide, "What?" he said, completely surprised. Meanwhile, as Naruto was outside, as Naruto watched as Kuma was bending things, over to the side, Yuji watched him. It seems like Kuma finally has an audience to show off for. Yuji glanced back towards the man behind her, the one that introduced himself as Shadow. "You're acting like you did not try to seem impressive in front of the child." "Well, it's not often we do get spectators down here, and viewers for our accomplishments. But I'm not pushing it like Kuma. I mean, look at him. He's bending things for the kid." "Oh, let him be. Remember what the Hokage told us before he arrived here. Naruto is a child. But we have to change that in due time. We are the ones that are going to be selecting if he's ready to go on missions when time is right. We've seen young in Anvu, but this is the youngest that we've ever seen before. While he won't be outright going on missions, we still have a responsibility here to keep him safe and prepare him for the future." "Well, when you put it like that, it sounds really difficult," said Shadow. "What? You not up for it?" "And who said I wasn't?" said Shadow. "Well, you sound like you were about to give up." "Me? Come on now," he said. "You know I don't give up." As he vanished behind her, she simply watched Naruto and Kuma. Back with Hiruzen and Kakashi, Kakashi wiped his hand down his face. This was a lot. Whatever this thing was, they still don't know if it can be trusted, and none of them can touch it or even try to remove it because it would retaliate. Naruto has a good sense of control over it, but it also defends Naruto if he's not aware. All of this information, they had to make sure that they were ready for what is to come and prepare the child. While Naruto wouldn't be outright going on missions, Kakashi had to be one of them that will help him. But Kakashi saw something inside the kid out there. It might be jumpy and bubbly right now, but he believed that soon enough because of them, they will turn him into someone that is ready for the outside world. And also, they had to make sure he knew where his loyalty lay, given Naruto's background and what he's been through. They had to make sure that he understand that this village was best for him right now. and the secret of his parentage must not be revealed until Naruto was truly ready. It was a big job, but Kakashi believed that he could take it on. After all, Minato Sensei was there for him. The least he could do was be there for Naruto. As both men came out to sea, Naruto marveling in shock at Kuma, who bent another ridiculously tough object. As Naruto picked up one of the iron off the ground, "I can do it too," he said. "Oh, don't strain yourself, kid," said Kuma. "You're gonna need a lot more." However, Kuma was cut off as he saw Naruto, making the thing creak. And Naruto was not using anything but his bare hands. Both Hiruzen and Kakashi looked toward each other before they looked back at Naruto as they saw him bend it. Slightly, but still. As everyone looked towards him. Awesome, right? Why is everyone staring at me? As Naruto heard Beetle talking to him. "Oh, I see why you guys are surprised. Beetle said because he's attached to me, I'm gonna be a whole lot stronger," said Naruto, with a grin on his face. "Huh, that's an understatement," said Kuma, as he just watched a 6-year-old child bend a piece of iron. Not the sturdiest piece of iron, not the strongest, but still, it was god darn impressive. Time skip. 3 people were on the ground. One of them wearing a cat mask. As she moved through the darkness, quickly arriving towards the location where she was supposed to be. Slowly she brought a hand up towards her earpiece. "I'm in position," she said. "It's happening as we speak." Up in another section of the underground labyrinth, another bulkier man could be seen. Despite his size and how much he probably weighed, he was light and agile on his feet. "I can see them from my position. It's a lot of them. Bat, do you copy?" Over to the other side, standing there was another individual with a bat mask. This was none other than Shadow, as he was wearing a bat mask. Yujiro wearing a cat mask, and Kuma wore a bear mask. The 3 of them were in position. "What the hell is this guy doing?" said Shadow, as he was watching the scene. "It seems the reports were right," said Kuma. "It's Tail Beast Chakra." As they said that, going down, there was a man. His name was Amaki. Amaki was formerly an acquaintance of Orochimaru, but there was some bad deals between them. However, Amaki was just as crave and crazy like Orochimaru. Somehow he was able to get his hands on residue Tail Beast Chakra. In doing so, Amaki was able to recreate the genetics of a Tail Beast. At the moment, Amaki was looking toward his people, as there was a lot of them surrounding the area. Mercenaries, bandits. Amaki had gathered all of his forces. The reason being there was a lot of rich, corrupted people down there. These people wanted to purchase the ultimate weapon that Amaki was going to be selling. It was supposed to be an auction. Everyone would be placing a bid on the weapon, and the highest bid will get it. Amaki was going to distribute this thing. This was the first prototype. Amaki was certain that he had it under full control, that he had done everything perfectly down to the T. The residue of Tail Beast Chakra that he had was contained, as he had people that was able to work in the arts of Fuinjutsu for him. "Welcome, ladies and gentlemen," Amaki said, as there were several individuals down below, all of them having their own bodyguards, mercenaries, and different individuals. "I know what you're all here to see," he said, "so let us begin with the show, shall we?" As Amaki stepped forward, pressing a button on the stage flat opened up as something rose. It was a gigantic canister, at least 10 times larger than Amaki. As for Amaki, he was a short man with dark hair and green eyes, as he was dressed in a white lab coat. Amaki was around 5'5", and the thing was massive, towering over him. A strange, bluish liquid could be seen inside. It was too thick to be water. Inside there was a strange sealing paper. The sealing paper had red markings on it that seemed to be in the activation stage. "As you can see, it is fully under my control," Amaki said. As he nodded to a man next to him, the man walked over and held his arm out. His palm was glowing with kanjis as he moved his hand. The beast inside was moving as well. Amaki then turned towards the people. "This will be a great boost to your ranks, whoever might this go off to tonight. You can see the qualifications of his power. As one of them spoke up, in terms of ranking, how much would you set this power at? Well, when it comes to normal tail beasts, it's strong but it's not that strong. But listen, said Amaki, this is my first prototype. So you will be on the groundbreaking discovery of having something that no other smaller nations even possess. Think about it. No one will be able to trifle you. Your business will go untouched. So, let us start the bidding, shall we? The people down there was ecstatic to hear that. Yujiro pressed a finger to her ear. How are you doing up there, she asked. As a voice replied back to her, I'm doing just fine. How are things going on your end? The information was right. He is the one using the residue of Tail Beast chakra to form these monsters. He has a prototype down here. The last failed experiment ended up wiping out a small section of a village. Fortunately, there was no death. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. We need to make sure that he never does it again. As she included the others on the comms, the background on these individuals, they're all full with murdering, trafficking, and stealing. One after another has used the fear and power that they possess to make sure that smaller and minor nations do what they say. They work in the shadows. This could also be our perfect opportunity to eliminate them all. Our job is to erase every ounce of this failed experiment before anything too bad happens. If they get taken out in the process, it will be a good thing for us, said Yujiro. Alright, prepare yourself. On the stage, as the bidding was going on, the man that was holding the Fuinjutsu mark started to feel something strange. He gripped his hand as he started to wince. Amaki turned towards him. What's wrong? Something's... I'm losing control. What do you mean you're losing control? Amaki whispered, trying not to startle the people. Crack. Everyone turned when they heard the cracking sound. Everyone's eyes widened as they saw the glass cracking. The people started to get up. Weapons started to be drawn immediately. Easy, everyone. We have this under control, Amaki said. There's no need to panic. There's no need to run. Get this back under control now, you fool. We can't afford to lose this bidding. Hurry up. Amaki's failed experiment had ended with a quarter of a village being eviscerated. However, that village owner was the one that was searching for a weapon to empower his village. It was known as Yeti Village. Konoha ninjas had no politics or movement in that area, so they were there as secret. However, the machine had failed completely. Whatever they were trying to do had failed in a huge way. But now he was here, after 2 months, and once again he was back on his feet, and creating this monster. But this time though, the glass cracked again. Amaki backed away. What the hell is going on? Do something! I'm trying, the ninja said, trying to contain the thing with Fuinjutsu. However, he was going up against something that he had no knowledge on that much. Fuinjutsu was great and all, however, this was essentially a tail beast, a mindless walking weapon of destruction. Unlike other tail beasts, it did not have any brain power to understand what it was doing, and even if it did, having them control it, well, anyone would be pissed. Boom! The glass exploded. The thing looked smaller in size, but once it was emerging, Amaki was swallowed as he screamed. People started to run. Shit, said Kuma. The thing is going on a rampage. Wait, what the hell? Is it growing? As the people down below, their chakra was being sucked out of them. Whatever Amaki had created, it was a monster feeding on everyone's chakra. The mercenaries, the missing names, even the people with the money. Their chakra was being sucked out, leaving them a dry husk. The monster was getting larger and larger as it looked up. It had no eyes. However, you could tell where its face was. As it turned towards them, it extended strange blue tentacles as it shot from its sides. Bat quickly leaped off the podium that he was on. As he landed down, the thing shot several more towards him. Bat flashed Johansson as he spewed out a gigantic beam of fire, making the thing stagger back. It can suck chakra, but it can't take jutsus. A earth spear ripped right through the thing's stomach as Kuma landed on the ground, slamming his hand down. However, the thing started growing, but it started to twist and rise. It is getting bigger, said Bats. Kuma, move, he yelled. Kuma leaped back away as the thing expanded, collapsing the underground scenery. Yuchio quickly pressed her earpiece. Blue Beetle, it's time, she said. Hearing that, something was blowing through the sky. As the thing arrived straight above the underground scenery, the monster exploded outwards. The Anvu missions was simple, to stop Amaki from achieving what he was gonna do. They had no idea that he had reached this far, and now this was tremendously bad. Well, it would be. However, they had backup. Something was soaring through the sky. The monster looked up before BAM! The left side of its face was blown off by a strange blast. However, the thing instantly regenerated. It looked up and released a screeching sound. Flying in front of it was a man, as he hovered in mid-air. The helmet seemed to retract as it went back into his neck, as he rolled his neck looking down on the thing. You're a big one, he said. It was none other than Naruto himself. Naruto has grown a lot as he looked down towards the monster. He's been in Anvu for some time now, trained, taught many lessons by them, as he's gone through a lot, as he's been on the field for a year by now, as they'd given him okay a year ago. They saw that he had matured, despite him still being young. He has grown into an extraordinary young man. As Naruto stood there in mid-air, the thing opened its mouth before it seemed to suck its own body up and shoot it towards Naruto. Flying out of the spot, Naruto watched as the thing hit the ground. The blast, it was some sort of goo as it seemed to eat away at the trees. A gooey acid, as Naruto turned back towards the thing. Well, that's not nice. Didn't your creator ever told you not to spit at people, said Naruto. The thing howled at him once again, intending to get revenge for him, blasting half of its face off. Sorry, I couldn't hear that. Wait, you can hear him, said Naruto. Speaking of Beetle. Beetle was able to translate almost anything. Oh, so he's just talking nonsense, said Naruto. Well, it's a mindless beast after all. Why don't we waste it, said Naruto. The thing released at least 100 tentacles from its body, as it aimed them all towards Naruto. Naruto held out his right hand before he slid his left arm forward, as materializing out of blue light was a gigantic blade. It was massive as Naruto gripped the hilt, as the blade started to glow blue, as red markings were seen going through it. You wanna play, big guy? Alright, let's begin, as Naruto shot himself towards it, bursting through the air at tremendous speed, as the tentacles shot towards him, as he pulled the blade back and swung. But guys, to be and subscribe right here. If you want to see next part and do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in social media platform. And also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other series on the other channels, and I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. Bye, I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.